Rusty Saloon is a new gambling website with games such as Roulette, Crash, and many more. You can redeem a free 3 cents every 15 minutes you're on the site, and if you enter my code tomorrow77, you can get a free 50 cents when you sign up. Once you're done, you can go to withdraw and get any skin that you want. The site's for 18 and over, please gamble responsibly, and thank you to Rusty Saloon for sponsoring this video. Hello and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you 10 more advanced tricks for Rust. So previously I had my video which was 50 tips, but they were more beginner focused, so these 10 are only going to be a little bit more intermediate, with a couple of them being some that even veterans might not know. Credit to Vilsu for showing me this one. The first one is a sneaky way to board cargo. If you have a mate drop you off, or you can swim out to the path where cargo will follow, you disconnect straight away and then reconnect as soon as possible. Then when you reconnect, if you time it right, you can actually spawn into the cargo ship. Depending on how quickly you disconnect, you might glitch a little bit underneath the cargo ship, but as long as you move around and spam spacebar, you should be able to get into the ship. Note that I'm flying in this clip, so I am a little bit higher than you'd normally be, but you can still do it nonetheless. This next one works really well for sewer branch, but it can also work for airfield. If you run these monuments frequently, you want to keep your low health fuses. This is because fuses have a timer of 2 minutes, and the lower they are, the quicker they'll burn out. And when you're running monuments like sewer branch, as soon as you swipe your card, the door will swing open, and it'll stay open for as long as the fuse has HP left. However, if you bring low HP fuses, as soon as you enter the monument, if you time it correctly, the door will close right behind you. This is really good because as soon as someone sees a fuse in the fuse box, they'll know exactly where you are and they'll probably camp the exits. Or if they want to follow you, they can jump down the puzzle and sneak up on you while you're recycling. This next trick is called pre-medding. If you jab yourself with a med, it won't actually take into account and you won't lose the med unless the animation goes all the way through. In case you didn't know, med pens take roughly 2.5 seconds to actually take effect, so before that 2.5 seconds, if you switch to another med in your hotbar, you won't actually go through and use the med. This is really helpful for when you're on the run from people or you know that you're about to get shot, as if you keep pre-medding, as soon as you get hit by the first bullet, you can save yourself anywhere up to 2.5 seconds. Things such as drowning don't affect you whilst you're disconnected. Therefore, if you have something like a scuba tank, you can go all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, take off your scuba tank, and disconnect. You won't take any damage, and the only thing you're susceptible to are other people who scout you out whilst diving, or ESP. Just keep in mind that before you press any button, you will start drowning, so you want to quickly wake up and chuck on that diving tank. Whilst on cargo, you can place ladders pretty much anywhere, so if you want to hold the bottom underground area, a really good tactic is to just bring 3 ladders and you can block off 3 of the entrance points and then you only have to worry about 1. If someone wants to enter via one of the laddered block entrance points, you'll hear them shooting out or hitting down your ladder. In order to be the first one on the monument when it respawns, you can DC on both the oil rigs. You can also do this on launch site. Keep in mind that this works better when you're on a higher pop server, as the respawn time will therefore be lower. At small oil rig you want to do it in the fuse room, and at large oil rig you can do it in any one of the vents. And at launch site you can DC pretty much anywhere that's hidden, but if you don't want to DC you can go into the electrical room and just hide in this spot here, as you won't get any rads. Most people know, but you can efficiently cook food by splitting it into 3, and then whenever a piece of food is cooked, it'll spit out and you can just turn the campfire back on again. Not only does this cook the food faster, but it also means that you'll never burn your food. But you can take it one step further, and instead of ever producing charcoal, if you split the wood in half and then drag it over to make a full stack, and keep doing this repeatedly, the wood will never actually run out. Notice how the wood's not burning, but you'll see that the food is still cooking. This is really helpful for when you're stuck in the snow, maybe it's nighttime and it's too cold and you need to keep the campfire going. You can actually board cargo from the back. This is a really sneaky position, and to do it solo, you just want to create an auto run bind on your boat, then switch seats till you're at the front, jump out as soon as you get to the back here and land on this little part here. Now, you won't actually be able to get onto the ship from here, but when the people who are already boarded leave, they'll leave on the rahib and you'll get a clean spray down. Or you could do what Barry Sloan did and use a C4.
C4?
I landed it. I'm gonna knife them both, Hey, what's good, boys?
For this next trick, you'll need a spare tier 2 and stone wall BP'd. If you're a medium-sized group that lives relatively close to the snow, having a farm base out there is extremely meta right now. The The reason is because if you're raiding, you'll often get multiple tier 2s, and so you can afford to leave one in your farm base. This is really beneficial because if you have a farm base in the snow, you can do multiple trips and then stack up the stone using high walls. You can stack up to 80 stone walls, which is the equivalent of 4 boxes of stone. This means not only can you have an inventory of sulfur when you fly back to your main base, but you can also bring along with you 4 boxes of stone crafting in your hotbar. You can just spam right click so that they never actually craft into high walls, although with this much stone you probably would want some. This next tip is called baiting. It gives you such an insane advantage in PvP and it's really easy to pull off. All you have to do is intentionally look away from an enemy and then alt look directly towards them. You can keep moving around from this position and they'll think that they have the advantage on you. As soon as they start to push you, you want to run away, but make sure not to make it obvious that you know where they are. Then they'll blindly push you thinking that they know where you are and you have no clue that they're coming. And instead, just turn around and spray them down. And that's all the tips I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I thought I'd leave you with a funny clip of me baiting a guy with a horse.